also announced the birth of his son through surrogacy. However, that had prompted the centre to frame guidelines for surrogacy. Once approved by Parliament, there will be a complete ban on commercial surrogacy, but altruistic surrogacy will be permitted for needy infertile couples under strict regulations. While Bollywood has been leading a family kranti by adopting a surrogacy as means to have children, the question is India ready for the single dad?
Parent of 2 children born last month, Karan Johar has joined the ranks of celebrities who have become parents by means of in vitro fertilization technique by which their children have been born. Although such kind of a technique is legal, yet there are several contentious issues which have repeatedly been raised by human rights activists. Several activists claim that children born by such a technique are deprived of a normal family and an upbringing since they are brought up by a single parent. Yet it remains to be seen how such kind of a contentious issue is looked upon by the society and the law at large, since such techniques are increasingly being applied year after year. In Delhi with video journalist Rohit, this is Abhimanyu Sharma for NewsX.
We are still not very clear what exactly the government is thinking about doing it, because the case is going on, but still there is no guidelines clearly instructed by the government. So women activists, lawyers, general public should come forward. We have been brought up in that culture from our childhood, because we have, we believe in God, goddesses, and our culture is totally, not kind of Western culture which I am talking about. Hindus are deep-rooted. Hinduism is deep-rooted in our culture.
Abhimanyu Sharma is joining us with further details on this story. Abhimanyu, just take us through the debate which has erupted once again after Karan Johar's big announcement.
Well, exactly, and of course it has been an issue of debate and contention ever since it has been used quite prevalently since the past few years. Of course, initially it was a method for childless couples to ensure that they could become parents, but increasingly it has become an option for even single parents who are unmarried or who wanted to have a child without having a partner. Of course, there are issues of contention which have been repeatedly raised by human rights activists, and several of them, of course, who have spoken to NewsX have also raised flags over the denial of a normal family and upbringing to a child which a child normally has by the presence of parents from both the genders, because in this case it is possible that the child would be raised by a single parent. So of course there is the possibility of denial of a normal upbringing. Also there are other issues related to the health and security of the lady who hosts the child till the child is born, since it was repeatedly mentioned that earlier when the test tube baby technique came into being, of course it was replaced by surrogate mothers, since it was deemed more easy and more safe for medical science for women to host fetus in their wombs till the child was born. But of course, it has a whole range of issues which range from emotional, psychological, and physical problems which may be construed to the lady who will give birth to the child eventually. Also, the rights of children which have been born to same-sex couples. That also has been raised repeatedly, because there are several countries in which test tube babies or in vitro fertilization is not allowed by law. So in such case, of course, they go to other countries where these are allowed. Yet it remains to be seen what would be the citizenship rights of the child which will be born to such parents, and also it might leave them in the lurch if same-sex parents or the single parent, if something happens to them, something untoward happens to them, or even if same-sex couples divorce for that matter. So there are a whole host of issues which require to be addressed and discussed threadbare. Of course, there was a hint which was dropped by a union minister some months back that, of course, there requires to be a thorough debate and also a clear-cut law on the issue. And of course, there was a clear-cut hint which was pointed at.
We'll have to leave it there. Abhimanyu, thanks for joining us with those details. More breaking.